I've always wanted to go to a classic car auction, and here we are today at the Bonhams car auction, because a couple of months ago at the Spa 6 Hours and in Nürburgring, we met a guy called Louis Frankel, and when he invited me to come over to London and check it out, I couldn't say no. So today we're going to check out some of the cars here and also see what it's like to be at an auction, and also see how much some of these cars end up going for. And first up we have this, a Lamborghini Diablo VT, gorgeous car, one of my favourite cars. Essentially the Diablo replaced the iconic Lamborghini Countach. This one being a VT, it features that four-wheel drive system that can put up to 25% of the power to the front wheels. That's basically derived kind of from like the LM002, Lamborghini's first SUV ever. And then also this, a Rolls-Royce Phantom. This is actually the Rolls-Royce Phantom from the 2010 Paris Motor Show, which is a quite cool detail, and it's just the start of some of the cars we'll see here as well. As we walk through the doors, we'll already start to see some of the other cars available, but we'll go down and we'll check those out there in a sec. With a pretty nice view outside the window as we go downstairs. And here we're greeted by some of the cars down here. I'm always drawn to old school Porsches, and here we already have a really nice set of them. An original early Porsche 930 Turbo featuring that 3-litre flat six, putting out 260 horsepower. Also has those widened arches in the back, but also in the front. An Aston Martin DBS Vantage. And then an example of what if the 911 Turbo just isn't enough, you get this, the 996 GT2, also a Clubsport. The standard GT2 already featured a couple of upgrades aerodynamically, but also engine-wise, putting out 10% more power than the standard 911 Turbo, with this having from memory 480 horsepower. Being a Clubsport spec, you also get bucket seats, you lose the rear seats, and you also get that roll cage, harnesses, and a fire extinguisher, as well as of course a 6-speed manual. And then we have a wild selection of Aston Martin V8 Vantages. This one here with a kind of a Kermit colour scheme, with a green interior, the one beside it then yellow and green with a red interior, this one here then white with black details, Gulf livery one as well. This is probably my favourite, with this kind of like orangey tan interior inside it, and then a blue on blue, and then of course the Aston Martin racing coloured one. An original Porsche 911 that is also the very first right-hand drive Porsche 911. It was actually built by Porsche's experimental department rather than Porsche themselves in their main factory line. Very fascinating car, being in 1965 as well, which technically made it a prototype. Mercedes 190 SL, the smaller brother of the 300 SL with that 1.9 inline 4. A Porsche Carrera 356A, one of the very early ones, with possibly, or apparently, the only ever bent sunroof. You see it has a bit of a kink there as a right-hand drive. Aston Martin Vanquish S with that V12. Also, this was essentially the successor to the Vanquish. An Aston Martin DBS Coupe. A Ferrari 365 GTB4, essentially Ferrari's answer to the Lamborghini Miura V12 front engine rather than mid engine like the Miura was, and they didn't even include power steering because they thought that's not what a sports car should have. This then I find fascinating because this is an Aston Martin Vantage Coupe, or Le Mans Coupe even, should I say. 600 horsepower, 5.3 litre twin supercharged rather than turbocharged, and also has more torque than a Dodge Viper. This is wild, absolutely wild. I love the interior, I love everything about it because it just strikes me as like very like late 90s. I think this is a 2000 model. And one of the wildest features is actually that the glass in front of the headlights is actually heated. A bit of a more classic Aston Martin Vantage then beside us. And there's also a big selection of other Aston Martins here as well. That one's quite interesting, the one in front of me, because that one was modified for historic rallying, I believe. And through this door here, we have some of the more vintage cars, or the pre-war cars. We have an old Rolls Royce, another old Rolls Royce. I'm not really great with the naming of all of these. Then we have a Bugatti Type 40. This is powered by a 1.5 litre inline 4. Really, really cool little car. A Bentley, and one of my favourite cars here, this Rolls Royce, with this being the horn. There's even a little label there that says that it's a patented design for a boa constrictor horn. And I don't know if we'll be able to look into it now, but I filmed a couple of videos for TikTok and Instagram of this earlier, where there's literally a living room in the back right here. Absolutely mad car. And then over there you can see there's a little cord or bell, something you press, and that rings the bell up there to alert the driver. You can even see over there the vanity mirror, and also space for a cigar up here for the driver as well. But I think there's like a cigar box or something underneath the vanity mirror as well. And now we've checked out all of the cars here at Bonhams. We're going to go away, grab a quick coffee, and then come back for the actual auction itself.
Enjoy the festivities. 50,000 bid. 340 back with you at 340. Last call. 119,000 for. £160,000, 160. The bids are coming in. 170. 888, 42,000. That's yours. 888, 42,000. Are you sure you don't want the rest of them, sir? I'll look at you in a moment. 888. No more. 34,000. That's 35,000.
So the auction's now done. It's time for all the cars to be loaded away into the trucks to be transported to either their new owner or a storage spot. So that's our time here at the Bonhams auction done. I hope you enjoyed this little video, a glimpse into my life as Retro Garage. And also, please make sure to like, share and subscribe, and also share this video with at least one person that you think would enjoy it, because that's exactly what helps us continue to grow Retro Garage and bring you guys along for even more of that journey, and showing you guys even more special cars and events throughout Europe, the UK, Ireland, and hopefully next year the US as well. So on that bombshell, good night, take care.